Hello and welcome here. Thank you for joining me back on my channel. Today I've got something a little bit fun. The lighting's a bit crap as usual because my house is so dark and I have warm lighting, so you'll just have to deal with it. I have a new toy. If you follow me on Instagram, you already have some inkling of what that is. I have it here on the table in front of me, just here. It needs a bit of a clean. I haven't cleaned it yet. I was going to do it on the weekend, but it turned out to be quite hot, and the guys had to change the radiator on our car and they had to take my trestle table away. So I didn't have my table, which I usually set up here, as you've seen in previous videos, where I do my quilting and that kind of thing. So I have my table set up now. I have it back. I have my knitting machine on the table. Spoiler, there you go. I have a knitting machine. In fact, I have two knitting machines that I purchased last week. I got them last Thursday, so a week ago today, and I thought I was getting one knitting machine with a ribber and the books to go with it. However, it was a whole lot more than that. So I'm going to go through some of this. I'm going to clean them up. I'm going to show you guys what I have. I cannot knit on them as yet because both of the knitting machines do not have foam bars. Well, one of them has a foam bar. If you don't know knitting machines, you probably don't know what that is just yet, but you basically need the foam bar to hold the needles. So I don't have a foam bar in one. I have a very flat foam bar in the second, and I'm waiting on replacement. So I cannot use these just yet, but I thought we could go through them, have a bit of a tour, have a look at the stuff that I got, and yeah, hopefully you guys will probably agree that I got a massive bargain. So I got all of this stuff for 100 Australian dollars. So yeah, once you see it all, you will be as surprised as I was that I got all of this for that price. So I'm going to go through now and start cleaning these items, and then I will be back with you to give you a bit of a tour on these knitting machines and tell you what my plans are. Also, I got a bunch of yarn. I have not gone through all that yarn that she gave me. It is in a giant box, this box here, and I have not gone through it yet. It is a bunch of cones, there's some balls, but yeah. I pretty much got this knitting machine, or two knitting machines, because there was actually two, to get through my yarn stash a little bit quicker by being able to knit through it a little bit quicker, and it was meant to reduce my stash, and I have now inadvertently increased my stash by an entire tea chest box size of yarn. So it kind of backfired a little bit, but the way I'm looking at it is that this yarn that's over here, it's yarn that I don't have any attachment to. It was not my yarn. I did not purchase it. Well, I mean, I did purchase it, but I didn't initially purchase it. I didn't choose it, and it will be perfect for me to practice with. So that is my plans for most of that yarn, unless there's any really good stuff in there, and then I will make something for myself or someone close to me out of it. But for now, let's get on with the cleaning. I had to spend the last hour looking for some oil. This is spinning wheel oil, because I want to lightly oil some of the parts in my knitting machine. So I got a little bit frustrated looking for that, but now that I have that, I can get on with it, and yeah, I will check back in with you guys a little bit later. Okay, I just wanted to show you guys the sponge bar that goes in this machine. So this is the sponge bar. Now this goes underneath this section here, and it holds up the needle. It pushes down on the needles actually. As you can see, that is very flat. That is a very well used sponge bar. When we get to the other end, I thought this end was a little bit better shape, but it wasn't actually. It's just bubbled up. I will put in a photo of what the sponge bar is supposed to look like, but this is not it. Pop this back in and then we're going to go over with a little bit of oil.
Some time later.
Okay, now that we're all clean, I can show you. You can actually see shine on it now. It was covered in complete dust. This is the main knitting machine that I purchased. It is an Empisal KH3. Now this is the same as brother models, I believe, of that same code, KH3. So pretty much anything I need for this I can get if it is labelled as brother. So this is the main carriage here. This bit here, I don't know what that's called yet. It sits on the front here. This one is a machine that can use punch cards, so I can put a punch card in there and it will do like Fair Island lace, hopefully. The lady said that she doesn't think that the lace is working, but we will test it and we'll see how we go. Everything else kind of fits in the lid. I do have this little compartment in here, so this is the thing that puts down the needles, because you want to do one by one when you cast on, I believe. So that is for that. These are for lifting yarn off the needles and that sort of thing, clamps. So that's kind of your little toolkit in there. And then this is like your cast on combs. You've got your yarn guide, your row counter. This is, like I said, the lace carriage. So this is the main one that I purchased. I believe it works. She implied that it all works. So like I said, I just need that the foam bar that goes in. I need to replace that and then I can give this a try. But for now, this is clean. It's ready to go, so we can move on. And this is the second machine that I got as well. I thought it was something else, but she said that box there, take that. So we took it, and it is a second machine. So it is another Empisal brand, but it is model NG-H3. This one is really dusty, so I don't think this one's seen use in a very, very, very long time. I'm assuming that this was probably her original knitting machine, and then she got the other one, and this one just kind of got left behind. So I think it might be missing some pieces. It's probably something that I can pick up. I believe it is the Vistamatic, as you see there. It was also, I think Knitmaster was another brand that came under Vistamatic. So we're going to give this one a clean, because as you can see, it is incredibly grubby. So I think possibly like stuff like it's got a little bit of rust on it. We might be able to clean that up. Simon probably will have a good idea to fix that. I think it might be missing its yarn guide, but I'm assuming I could probably just take it off the other machine. Oh, there is a stick there. There we go. That's probably part of its yarn guide, but it just doesn't have anything else with it. Potentially I can get spares for this and build it back up and get it working again. Honestly, I feel like it would probably work as is. It just needs like the yarn guide from the other machine. But for now, let's give it a clean and get it all sparkling again. And this one is obviously going to need the vacuum cleaner. It came up like new. It's so pretty. I like the blue on this one better than the green on the other one. If you know me, you know I don't love the green. So I'm hoping I can get this work. But yeah, this came up really well. I'm really pleased. With all the piles of stuff that I got from this lady, I actually found that I have most of, because I've got the manual for this machine, And I actually have most of the bits and bobs that are listed in the manual, so all these guys. So I have actually everything that comes with this machine, apart from this yarn guide piece. I have the part 9, so the yarn break rod. I don't have the yarn break upper assembly, however, but like I said, I could probably borrow that off the other machine. But other than that, I've got everything to go with this one, so I'm hoping I'll be able to get this up and running. As part of the collection of stuff that I got this thing called a patternograph, and I've had a little bit of an investigate and I cannot find anything about this thing. It's big and long, and it looks like it's supposed to, like, it's got a little cog system, like it's supposed to like drag something through it. I don't know whether it's like another punch card type thing, but it's really long. So I'm really not sure. I've done just a very cursory quick Google and haven't been able to find anything. So I don't know if this is going to be useful, but I'm going to give it a bit of a clean up because it's got like a little handle thing here too. But I'm going to give it a clean up because it's pretty filthy, so if I'm going to have it in my house, I might as well clean it, right? It's still really grubby. It's so ingrained on these back pieces here, I just can't get it out. So like you can see how grubby that is. But anyway, we'll move on to the next. I think I just found my yarn guide for the other. It matches the picture here, so you can see that it matches. So this is actually the yarn guide for the other machine. So I have that. I have the Knitmatic, Vistamatic is complete. So that is really good news. It was in with my ribber. So the other day when I went through the ribber extras, because I went through the manual, because I've got the manual for it as well, and everything appears to be here. So I have absolutely no clue how this ribber works. All I know is that it's supposed to attach to the front of the other knitting machine. But yeah, that is all something that I need to work out at a later date. You can't even see me. I have to work that out at a later date. But for now, we're going to give this a clean, and then everything is clean and ready to go when I get some foam bars. I think this is as clean as I'm going to get it. This sort of textured plastic is really hard to get things clean, so I have wiped it all down. I can't seem to get the carriage off. I'm assuming it does come off, but I can't figure out how. So I've cleaned that as best I can while it's still attached, and I've just rubbed a little bit of that oilcloth over the pegs and the needle ends. The needles I think are in pretty good shape. So yeah, I've got everything clean now. So the next thing is to go through all this yarn, and I don't think I'm gonna have time for that today. It is getting on time for Simon to come home from work, so I'm not sure whether I want to get on to fiddling with all of that yarn as yet, because there is a lot in there. So I might leave that till tomorrow. I do have another little box of books that came with this, and punch cards and punch card tools. So I have all sorts of stuff, but I think I might leave that till tomorrow. We'll have a second part. Yeah, I think I'm pretty pleased that everything is clean. I'm pleased that I have found most everything now. I've got the yarn guide. I just need those brackets now for the ribber. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased. I really hope that these all work well once I've got foam bars and I can try knitting on them. So for now, I will leave you and I will catch you tomorrow.